You may recall that in last week's video, I mentioned the issue of antitrust. Well, that video prompted a question from Eric Goosen regarding the issue of antitrust. And while that video referenced antitrust and third-party aggregators, we need to know that the issue is much broader than that. And because antitrust is a serious legal issue, it probably isn't something I should comment on other than to say anytime you have concerns about a discussion heading in the wrong direction as it relates to antitrust, you want to loudly and with fanfare excuse yourself from the discussion and do everything you can to disassociate yourself from the group choosing to have it. However, I do not want to leave you without some guidance on the issue of antitrust. Consequently, for those who have questions or are seeking more information, please go to nar.realtor/antitrust, where you will find far more definitive information than I can provide. At that site, the following overview is provided, and I quote, "Federal and state antitrust laws are designed to protect competition and the opportunity of competitors to engage in business free of artificial restrictions on competition. Such restrictions include price fixing agreements, group boycotts, tying arrangements, and market allocation agreements. Antitrust laws also make it illegal to operate a monopoly and abuse the power of one who has a monopolistic market position. Antitrust laws are enforced by the U.S. Department of Justice, the Federal Trade Commission, and several similar state agencies and state attorneys general," end quote. It's also important to understand that antitrust issues as it relates to real estate are not isolated problems. In many instances, the results of an initial investigation have resulted in much larger groups being impacted by that investigation and the conclusions they have arrived at. On a different note, while we are only a couple weeks into the new year, there is some noteworthy market news. For those who feel like the market has slowed, you're right. But then it always does in early January. This is why it's always important when you have a feeling things are different to measure that feeling against facts, which in this instance tells us that January pending sales in the first 2 weeks of 2021 are actually up 10.9% over the first 2 weeks of 2020. This is likely fueled by ridiculously low interest rates. Yes, the market is down from last year, but it's up over last year, which in my opinion is more important. There's also important news as it relates to the secondary mortgage market. The FHFA, which is the Federal Housing Finance Administration, which oversees the work of the GSEs, government-sponsored enterprises, which most of you know as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, is going to allow them to retain their earnings, which will build up their reserves. For those of you who just want to list and sell houses, the takeaway is mortgage liquidity will remain good and you can simply go about your business like you have been. There had been some concern that issues that relate to the GSEs could lead to the elimination of the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That is now far less likely to occur. For those who like to chew on federal financial policy, there's also good news. You're going to have several good years of fodder upon which you can chew. Now, a quick overview of upcoming events and programs. At our general membership meeting on February 10th, our guest speaker is the Chief Executive Officer of the Southeast Michigan Builders Association, who will be talking about new home construction in 2021. The Grosse Pointe Board of Realtors will also be presenting its Community Service Award and the Volunteer of the Year Award for both an affiliate and realtor. As usual, we will also be spinning the wheel to determine who the lucky winner is for what has become a regular part of our membership meetings since we went virtual. Also, Michigan Realtors Achieve Conference is next week, January 28th and 29th, and it too is virtual. This is Michigan's annual leadership program, and this year we'll be providing a variety of education sessions and presentations, most of which are approved for Con Ed. And with that, I want to thank you for tuning in. We want you to be productive, successful, and profitable. And as always, stay safe.